I'm Alec Hanson, and we're here in Houston, Texas, about to spend the day in Katy with mortgage superstars Shawna Oakley and Chris Hibbing, a doubleheader. We're going to give them both a marketing makeover. This is brand new.
Look like it's time to rise and get in the game. Gonna change some branding, not afraid to fly. I can't even wait to finally touch down with the camera click. Let's light up that stage. Time to start your brand new golden age. It's your time to shine. Cameras on you. Brand new.
All right, we made it to Katy. We're here at Shawna's branch. Just can't wait to hang out with Chris and Shawna. They have no idea what to expect today. I mean, they know I'm coming, but they don't know what's gonna happen. So, oh, there they are. We're already ready to go. What's up, guys? Get here. Good to see you, brother. Great to see you. Are you ready to go?
Welcome.
Are you ready?
I guess so.
Do you know what's happening here? No. Kind of. Okay, good. Keep that attitude. We're gonna go right over there. We're gonna meet around the corner, and we're just gonna have a fun day.
Okay.
Trust me. Trust me. Lots of cameras, lots of fun. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's rock.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
All right.
Lead the way. We made it.
Yeah.
We're here. You're so happy I'm here. I can feel the happiness about this amazing thing. First of all, thank you for being brave enough to jump into some craziness. So today, before we start, because we're going to end with filming content, we're going to end with all this fun strategy, we've got to get foundational first. Because one of the things that I found is that people rush into content creation or social strategies or all these type of branding strategies, and they don't do the early work, which is like, who are you? And what do you stand for? And who do you want to be? And how do you want to present yourself? So we're going to ask some questions. How long have you been in this lending craziness, Shawna?
22 years.
22 years. Chris?
7.
7 years. If you had to say, what professionally, personally, all of the above, what are the things you value the most that you think are the most important to you? That
Honesty.
You like? Okay, I like that. And why did you say that?
I grew up in not such a great household where it wasn't an honest situation.
Yeah.
And so that quickly became something that was important. You tell me the truth.
Absolutely. Tell me the truth.
Mm-hmm.
What another value?
Loving.
Why is that important to you?
How I grew up, it was fight or flight. I was in my fight and flight mode, right?
Yeah.
And so I craved that.
Yeah. And you're creating that.
Yep.
Chris, any what values that stand out for you?
Family focus.
Why is family important to you?
It's the reason we do all this, right? Is it's
100%.
I mean, as much as I love mortgages, it's not something I do for fun, right? It's all for taking care of the family.
Yep.
And I would say understanding.
Why does that matter to you? Because that's really cool. Empathy and understanding. Why is that important to you?
I would say because I think it's more rare than it should be these days. It's a lot of times I feel like people don't stop to think about where the other side's coming from.
Yeah.
You know.
So, Shawna, you said honesty and transparency, values that you really care about, loving, understanding, empathy. You work with her. Which of those resonates the most? Or if there's another word,
The honesty, for sure.
in what way?
Shawna's catchphrase here recently has always been the radical candor. And so
Radical candor.
She reminds me of that all the time, especially in, difficult situations, whether it's, run into issues on the approval or something happened with one of our partners. It's just always kind of rip the Band-Aid off.
Yep.
And transparency is the best policy. And then I would say caring. She truly does care, and she's very genuine about it. And that's both, I think, looking outwards from a sales perspective, right, about our partners and those relationships and the buyers, but also especially for our team. She wants to get to know the family, and she genuinely wants to know how you're doing and making sure that things are going well for you as an individual, not just kind of getting your numbers up.
All right, so we're going to reverse this now. So, Chris, family focus, empathy, understanding others, what kind of some of the value stuff, problem solving, loves the challenge, finding solutions. What of those all kind of ring the truest to you or stand out as the boldest for you?
Problem solver, smart. Chris does a lot of turn down business from builders, and he cares. He will work that thing to death and find a way to get those buyers in a house, and very smart because he can do all that, right?
Yep.
He digs. He challenges me every day on but it's great, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he has made me step outside of my comfort zone in some of those ways.
Let's keep going down this path, which is the why we do what we do type thing. Shawna, for 20 years, why do you stay in this crazy space? Why do you do what you do?
The reward of seeing families achieve the dream of homeownership, for sure. But also personally, the winning, right?
Competitive.
Yeah.
Are you competitive?
Just a little.
Chris, what about you? Why are you still here in this craziness?
I'm really drawn to like the puzzle of it, right?
Yeah, problem solving.
Each loan's different. You know, there's never two identical situations, so every time you're kind of having to think on your feet.
We're going to do an exercise that I found really helpful in just kind of getting us thinking about branding, brand identity. I use this every time. Iconic Fox put this together. It's a brand like archetype structure. And so as you look at all these as just kind of a way to start interpreting different, like sinking down, I'm curious, like which ones did you immediately were like, oh yeah, that's part of me?
I would definitely lean towards the magician and sage, probably.
Totally thought about you on the stage.
Is that what you thought?
Yes.
The sage? Yeah.
Yes.
Shawna, which ones stood out to you that you were like,
I thought about myself in the hero and the magician.
okay, interesting, right? Kind of helpful.
Yeah.
Kind of get your head thinking a little bit outside the box as you kind of put these things together. To end this thing, we're gonna go way back up to like the big questions. The big question is, at the end of it all, because you know we're not all gonna make it out of here alive. You know, what do you want your glorious purpose to be? What do you want to have happen to your mark on the world, to your family, to, you know, what do you want people to say? What is it for you?
I think I would want them to say I was there to be helpful and caring and made a mark in their life, right? Whether it's I did something, I was there to help them in a need when they needed something.
Yep.
Or I was a shoulder to cry on. That I was a good, true, genuine friend.
I would say like impactful.
Yeah.
Right. Is like.
What does that mean to you though? Because there's different ways to be impactful, right?
We all work hard, right? And so you want to know that actually made an impact on somebody, and that it wasn't just going through the motions, and at the same time like giving across that caring feeling, right? Is that not only did you help somebody or you made an impact on their life, but that you were understanding and caring as you went about it.
We're going to zoom out again, meaning we're going to break down here. We're going to go set up in there. We're going to do a social media audit now. So does that sound good?
Yeah.
We're set for the rest of the day?
Yeah.
We gotta do this. We gotta go like this. 3, 2, 1, change! All right, we're ready for the fun stuff?
Yeah.
This is our social media audit portion, or our digital brand audit portion, where we take all that work we just talked about and we start to look at what the world's seeing, and we start to kind of have that like moment of like, are we showing what we want to show? And so you guys actually turned out great in the sense that like I typed your name in, I didn't need to type in mortgage, and boom, we found you guys. So you're already got a head up, meaning there aren't other people, Shawna Oakleys or Chris out there competing for Google space.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's an advantage.
Okay.
Looking at both side by side. Obviously, Loan Depot does a lot on the website to help you come up, number one. Chris, your headshots came up fast, and this is a call out I want to make for everybody that's maybe following along. The reason that these came up is because you're more active on these social platforms. And because you're more active, it pulls it in. And then on Shawna, on your side, right, we got Loan Depot, we got LinkedIn, Houston Agent Magazine. All okay. Here's number one call out. You got to build out a Google business page. Okay. And what that means is when you search for yourself on this window right here, this dead space right here, it will pop up your Google business address and your profile. It's like, bam, here's this professional that has like their address, their website, their contact information, and this is the biggest call out too, Google business pages allow you to get reviewed.
So I would want a separate one from like our branch.
So effectively, you're a Google business. Okay. Like you're the business. And so you want it to be about you, what's going on for you, and reviews for you. All right, so Chris, let's take a journey here. Facebook. when I see this profile pic right here, I don't see Chris, right? We're not talking business pages. And the reason we need to talk about personal pages is because they're not personal and private anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
And I need to make sure that what shows up there is what I want. Now, I noticed that you say works at Loan Depot, which is great, but you did the thing that I always love, which you said, actually, no, I work at my business page. It's really good to have one. You need one. It differentiates yourself, and it's really useful if you want to turn into some advertising later, and that's where the power of this can really come with paid advertising. In the meantime, it needs to look good, do good, and do its job, but it's hard to grow. Whereas your personal page is very easy to grow. So Shawna, let's peek over here. Bam. I'm not going to critique too heavy because my comment is if you're going to use it for business and connection, then you're going to want to have this connected to your business page and change the look and feel. If you're like, Alec, I don't really care about that, then we're just going to be talking about, is it representative of all the values you have and how do we mess with it? I know you're both using it for business because look, Chris, you're sharing some stuff from your business. Same with you, Shawna. Like we obviously were just here yesterday. There's my dumb face. My recommendation is go in on a tool, use it as a tool, expand it to find your past clients, expand it to find the recruits in your marketplace, expand it to find the realtors and homeowners, home builders, and just start building your group. So okay, let's keep going here. So Shawna, business page, and I got Chris's business page, right? First of all, headshots are great. You look professional. We talked about this. Tie, no tie, what's my vibe? I would tell everybody, show up in your headshots the way that you would show up to a customer face-to-face. Like in your most authentic self. All right, other small fixes. The banners. I can't see your humanity. I can't see your values. I can't see what you stand for. I just get this kind of whitewashed banner. There's two strategies with your business page. Number one, set it and forget it. It shows that you have some intention behind your life. It's like having a Google business page. The long-term goal with a page on this kind of stuff is you can start using it for strategic advertising and you can start using it for like a powerful tool to wield in the marketplace. But for some people, that's like phase 5.
Okay.
We're still here in phase 1. So let's keep moving. Instagram, bam.
I tried.
We're gonna fix this up. We got you. Your past customers, your referral partners, your friends and family, the people you want to influence are probably on Instagram. This goes back to where should I be and what should I post? And my answer to that is where's your community that you're trying to influence? If you have no followers and you make content every day, nobody sees it.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if a tree falls in a wood, right? It's the same principle.
Okay.
But I would argue that you'll find that this platform is a big opportunity. LinkedIn. Lots of areas here to have fun with. So for example, our titles. We care about our own titles, but people they only care about what you care about. They want to know what you care about. And so we got to play with that with the titles.
Okay.
When you talk more about why you do things versus title and how and processes and tactics, you'll find a lot quicker human connection chance. And so that's what we have to showcase here, right? We have no bio. We got to have a bio where you talk in first person about why you do what you do. You can have a featured post again on this. So again, the first thing people can see and check out when they come visit here. And then you can, down here with what you do, right? At Loan Depot's retail division, we understand. But by the way, we can all laugh at this because everybody I know does this. That's our opportunity for LinkedIn, is just to make it look like more about you, more you. I need to see more Shawna. I need to see more Chris. YouTube, I really want you to understand it this way. It's your library. It's where you put all your books. And so sometimes you go pull those books off the shelf and you give them to other people. I mean, how many times do you answer the same question to the same clients over and over and over again, right?
A lot.
And so your opportunity is to start building out that in your YouTube strategy. We're gonna get there.
Okay.
All right?
Love
Baby
it.
steps, but
Yep.
we're gonna get there.
Okay.
TikTok. Where's the opportunity? If I had the stack rank opportunity right now on platform, it's gonna be like the top 3 are YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. The reason I'm mentioning this is like TikTok has such insane algorithmic reach right now. Like you can make huge impact repurposing content you're already doing onto that platform, because content that you make for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts 100% can be a TikTok. And so in phase 1, you can make content and just share it on all the platforms. All right, we got to do our transition.
Okay.
Awkward transition time. 3, 2, 1. Ha ha! Woo! We're flying today. This is good. So from a progressive standpoint, we've talked about values, purpose, the things that really light you up, the things you care about. So this is going to be kind of I call it marketing mayhem, but we're gonna talk through what you do every day, and then what that levels up to, what your objectives are to drive your business forward. And I like to carve it up into some simple boxes that help me understand things a lot easier. So the first box is partners. So Chris, we'll start with you. What do you do on a monthly, weekly, daily basis? So what's your life look like?
I'd say it's probably not very consistent, but existing partners, I mean, doing weekly status reports.
Yeah, that's right.
Kind of managing the pipeline, talking about prospects and scenarios.
Are you doing it organically or are you doing it strategically? Organically is, shit, I haven't been out there in 2 weeks. I got to go tomorrow. Strategically is, every Wednesday I go out to the community. Are we more organic?
We planned strategically,
We plan. Good. We have a plan.
but we practice organically.
All right, Shawna, let's go.
So my marketing strategy is the management teams of the builders
Yeah.
that we work with.
Yep, those are your contacts. Yep.
And I'd like to touch them on a monthly basis. I don't currently.
Organic.
Yes.
Now, let's move on from partners and recruits, and let's talk about our past clients. What are you doing with your past clients on a monthly basis to stay in contact?
Nothing except what the automatic campaigns
Auto drip campaign, yeah? Because I assume there's nothing else happening with it because you're not...
Just the CRM campaigns.
Okay.
Those, I still get the thank you for the birthday emails
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that.
Next area I like, local. So, you guys live here. Are you doing any, quote, local marketing?
I sponsor my brother-in-law's charity event once a year.
Yeah. Sponsor charity, good. What's the charity?
Greater Things.
What do they do?
They help families go through the adoption process.
Any organizations you're involved with?
HMBA,
What's that?
the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association.
Okay.
Got involved this year.
Social media.
Well, we just saw that.
So, what's your process on when to post and what to post today?
It's usually crap I haven't posted in 3 weeks,
Yep,
so let
yep.
me queue up a bunch of them.
You know what? Similar vibe or different?
Similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go through this and look at opportunity. So when things become intentional and not just reactive, or oh crap, I haven't done it in a while, magic happens.
Yeah.
Magic freaking happens. So it doesn't have to be a gigantic plan around this, but let me give you some more ideas. I would tell you to really work on the visits becoming strategic. That's an opportunity. Chris, for you, how many realtors come in with clients on these communities that you're working on?
A lot.
Right there is a gateway drug to all these potential relationships because you're crushing the loan. And so some of the things that are strategic in here that we can start to play with are, what's my update process for the other realtor? But this is like strategic
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
because now they're coming right by your door and you get to just crush it with them. So that's another little thought for strategic. Shawna, jumping on partners and recruits for you on strategic, right? I think with the recruits, it's how do you make sure they're in your sphere? How do you make sure you're in tune with what they're doing? And then how do you have intentional outreaches where it's like, I'm not going home until I have X number of intentional outreaches this week. And when I set myself on goals like that, I got them all done on Monday. But my intentional outreach weren't just cold calls because I hated those, but sometimes they were a video text, sometimes they were a direct message, sometimes they were just a comment on their Facebook. Let's talk past clients.
Okay.
So icing is a strategy, right? Like you want to get them into your social community. So that can be something you integrate into your business plan of like, okay, we're going to print them all out. We're going to find 5 a day. We're going to make it a game, and we're going to go out and grow our social.
Right.
You can go into CRM and say, is the drip campaign what you want? But you could write or make a video, 12 videos, for somebody that you want delivered every month when they move into their first house. Month 1, what would be the message you'd want to deliver an email? hey, thanks for using me. It's been a month. I hope everything's going great with your mortgage.
Right.
You can store that, and now the CRM will send that message to your clients every first month, every time you close a loan. Month 2, what would you do? Maybe write a newsletter, maybe write a little note that you could store, maybe do another video. And it could be about home improvement. It could be about things to look out for. It doesn't have to be about mortgage. And now you're 12 months after your close, it's you going out to them. So we talked about personalizing your digital approach. I think that people are missing that all day long. But for past clients, I would send them things like a pack of seeds for like springtime. And be like, let's grow together. But I want you to think about
I love these
what could
ideas.
you send to people that would make an impact, that would differentiate yourself, that would create headspace, so that they think of you, they remember you. All right, let's talk local. And let's talk about one of the old tried and true local marketing strategies, the old lunch and learn.
Yeah.
Okay? I like to call the new one the think and drink, because that's more my style. I'd much rather come together and have a cocktail than come to a lunch and learn. I'm going to invite all the realtors and all my past clients, because I have a lot of entrepreneur business owners, and we're going to bring in a subject matter expert, and the first 2 drinks are on me at the bar. But the 100 people you invited, you had an excuse to call them, you had a reason to reach out to them. They feel the warm and fuzzy, and when they decline, they feel obligation.
Right.
Just like you open the door for somebody, the next door's there, they're going to open for you.
Yep.
And instead of just marketing them with flyers and products and services and solutions, you're inviting them to something that you think can benefit their business. And so you're just a good person. Put these on every 90 days, and here's the coolest part. Even if only a couple of your friends show up, you are probably going to go drinking with them anyway.
Touche.
You are probably going to go drinking with them anyway.
Makes sense.
Last topic, social media. Here's the opportunity. The people you want to influence are there. Your past clients, the realtors, the partners, their friends, their family, they're all on these platforms. Obviously, we're going to come through and rebrand everything and get it all looking pristine. And then it's about what do you post? And we're going to play with that this afternoon. That's what we're going to do the rest of the day.
Okay.
We're going to come up with what do I say, how do I say it, and how do I get filmed, all that fun stuff. The game for social media is twofold. Be helpful. Helpful can be, this is the best restaurant in Katy. Helpful can be, I took my kids to this thing over the weekend, and this was, if you have kids, you got to go here. Helpful doesn't have to be, let me explain APR to you.
Right.
Second is, don't talk about yourself. The third thing is, choose to live in abundance and not scarcity, meaning give away information freely, don't gatekeep. The last piece that I really want you thinking on social is, what level of impact do you really want to make? All right, we got some craziness coming up now. We're going to get ready to start filming content, but we're going to prep you first.
Okay.
We're going to understand what to say.
Okay.
All right?
Perfect.
Cool. Ready to go?
Yes.
All right, we got to do a thing.
Okay. All
You
right.
ready? All right, how's the photo shoot?
Fantastic.
Wardrobe change?
Yeah.
Woo! I love it. Okay, this is honestly my favorite segment because inevitably you hear this question of well, I just don't know what to say. And we're going to do this exercise, and then you're going to realize all along you've had the power inside. All along, you knew what to say the whole time. Then we can talk about how to say it. And that's a whole thing too. So I want each of you to take one of these boards. So you get this one, you get this one.
Okay.
And I want you to write topics across the top. So I'm going to write down first time home buyer, right? I'm going to feed you your first one. So if you align with that, you can write that down.
Okay.
And then, but then go ahead and just keep going across with more topics. What's some of yours? Write down recruits.
Yes.
That's a major topic,
But
right?
would I have topics within recruits though?
Well, so let's start with macro. Write down recruits. Okay, so watch. Once we kind of have these categories, and there's more, right? You could have wrote down reverse if you cared. You could have. There's plenty of stuff to talk about. So now that you have these categories, I want you to write down what you would consider a micro topic inside these. So for example, the easiest one here is down payment. Right? There's lots of myths around down payment. First-time home buyers. They think they need 20% down. You can do 0. You can do 1. You have a grant. You can, so that's one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's another one for first-time home buyers? Let's just play this game for a sec.
Minimum credit score.
Yeah, FICO, right? What FICO do I need to have, right? So start writing some down. I'll help you. So think of things like you got to go really basic because you've done loans for too long. Like costs and fees, third-party costs and fees, mortgage costs and fees, APR versus rate. Go down to the basics. check all this out, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 videos, and probably more if you broke do's and don'ts into multiple videos. So let's say it's 20 videos, right, in 6 minutes. Now, how fun is this? Let's just map all of these over to a VA loan.
Right.
Like down payment for VA is a specific video that's got nuance, but it's just a little different. And so now you literally have 20 more videos that you could do for VA right now. How about FHA? Same thing. All these things apply to a whole new topic that you know about, but that a consumer is clueless about.
Yeah.
And then new construction. This is the same list, guys. You see it? And then over here, which I'm just going to write down current events, there's stuff happening around us right now in real time that are worth talking about. So for example, what's current right now? What's happening with interest rates?
Yeah.
That's current. That's like today. Historically, what's going on? What's happening with inventory around here?
Right.
That's localized. That's specific. Like you could talk about it right now because it's happening right now. Let's go another direction here. What kind of loans do you really like working on?
The deal saver ones for our builders.
So like they come in declined,
Right.
and then you save it.
Like just fell apart last minute.
Can you write down why some of these come in? Why they're falling apart?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't have the product you have.
Yes.
So product gap.
Yeah.
Self-employed borrowers.
Self-employed. They
Yeah.
screw that up.
They always.
There's passion topics that you'd like star, where it's things like maybe you don't get excited about talking about how the inspection process is going to go down, but like on passion topics, maybe you're going to talk about this every week.
Right.
Because here's something you got to hear on this. Just because you make a video and you put it out in the universe doesn't mean anyone hears it. So that means on passion topics, you can bring these up every week with another conversation around it, and keep sharing because what you're doing is you're going to be attracting clients that are facing the situations, which is the area you like. It's the people you want to help. But does this make sense?
Yes.
So if you have a content database repository, and every sales meeting and month, you're adding more and more to it, whether they're current events or stuff you've forgotten from here, all of a sudden you realize there is literally infinite things to talk about.
Yeah.
You have more in your brain and more in your ears than you possibly can imagine. You just got to get dumb again. We got to talk about how to say it.
Yes.
Okay.
And how to write scripts. The best way to think about this is to break this into 3 parts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, to write scripts. The first, we're going to call our intro, but other language that you'll probably hear, and as you research this stuff, you'll hear of hook, and then we're going to go into story, experience, and then we're going to go into close or call to action. Okay? So this is our format. And so in order to hook them, you have to tell them what you're going to say. You have to tell them the answer. You can say things like, if you're putting 20% down, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. But you could also say, like, I can show you how to buy a house with 0% down. So all of a sudden, the point of this intro is that it's 1 sentence, it's within 3 seconds, and you're telling them exactly what you're going to talk about. So let's go into the second part. After you hit them with it, you don't need 20% down to buy a house, then you can go into, here's my experience, here's my proof point, here's my story that shows you what I'm talking about. And then you kind of land the ship saying, like, look, I know I didn't solve all the world's problems with this video, but I'm just here to help if you need anything. Let me know. So here's the plan.
Chris,
okay?
you got it.
We're gonna do our little team thing, and then you're gonna get on here and you're gonna write out your hook, and then we're gonna talk about how you're gonna do the story experience line, because that needs to be I want to see if we can get you to do that more free flowing.
Okay.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go film.
Okay.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Cool.
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Huzzah! Don't calculate income alone.
Perfect.
If your payments weren't set up correctly or you weren't prepared for this change,
You don't want to hold the camera down below your face. We're back. Did you survive?
we did it.
I don't know. Did we do it?
Yeah.
So,
I'm tired though.
We are good, and you know what? I feel like that's like the sign of like a good day's work is that like we're tired. Was what happened today what you were expecting at all? I'm curious. Pieces of it. What's your take?
I thought it honestly was easier than I expected.
Oh, God.
And by easier,
What a champion.
I thought it would be tougher to figure out what to say and how to say it. And
Oh, yeah.
That part kind of came a little bit easier.
Good.
With some help, obviously, but coming up with the content was not as many brain farts, I guess, as I thought there was going to be.
You know, that's tremendous feedback, because I think people can take a lot of hope from that, because a lot of the barrier is, well, I don't know what to say. Right. And so just you saying that right there, I think it gives people like an impression of like, oh, maybe it's not. What about you, Shawna? What did you expect today?
It was a lot. I learned a lot. Like I said, the being honest and given all the information instead of withholding information.
Yeah.
That's
a good takeaway.
Yeah, that was a really good takeaway for me. But it was good. It was, I think it was easier having each other.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we started the day with trying to continue that like level setting of things that matter to you. Don't lose sight of that, because we get stuck in our business all the time, and then we don't like that whole thing of like people work with people because of why they do things, not because of how they do things. I think, Chris, one of my big takeaways for you that I experienced is just your level of empathy and care for customers, even in the content you wanted to talk about, showcases what you care about. And so the more you can stay in that space and really just be empathetic and help in your content strategy, like the more your true self will shine through and the more impact you'll make. And Shawna, too, some of the fun stuff that I saw on you specifically was like trying to wrestle around with what your real voice is. Like, you do believe some of this stuff. You care, you have opinions, you have things that matter to you. But how do you deliver that in a way that is true to you is right on the line, I think, that you should be playing. It's just right there in the realness of it. Okay. And both of you crushed the videos at the end. You got so much like more confident. You did. There are so many opportunities to just continue to level up with how you work as a team, how you take on new strategies together, whether it's local events or more intentional pop-ins or content days. So if you had to share like one or two things that you took away from this today, what stands out for you?
Being strategic.
I like that.
Like we've already talked off.
Of course.
You know, like, okay, we need to come back and have our planning days that we follow through with this.
Yeah.
Right. And I think one thing that resonated a lot with me kind of going through the process is realizing how much I think of a perfectionist I'd been trying to be.
Totally.
And I was using that as an excuse to not do it,
Yep.
right? Because you make it into a bigger deal than it really needs to be, or you try to make the perfect video, perfect script, and so you don't do anything.
Yep. I love both those. And you know, my comment as we kind of like, you know, wind down here is, man, it's all about the baby steps.
Yeah.
It's not about the big steps, because the big steps happen after 20,000 baby steps. It's just looking back and being, okay, how do we get a little more strategic and in the littlest way where it doesn't become this barrier, I get rid of my excuses, and that's a great takeaway. And so just like figure out what the baby steps are and then figure out how to make them fun. All right, so you know what we have to do now to end.
Okay. Oh, our thing.
The word.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Ready.
1, 2, oh!
Did you know that
You can protect your pipeline with
we were able to get them qualified?
loan officers. Let's be honest. When is the last time you logged into your CRM?
Brand new